Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are continuing our project to check out the Flint tubes in these aluminum block petrol lighters that, for the most part, need a little bit of attention. Looks like a lot of them we are going to get to re-wick. Wicking this one looks like it might be substantial enough to sustain a good flame. So we shall see. This is a Nordad lighter. Patent pending. It's got an odd screw here on the front. I'm not certain what that is for. And a screwdriver integrated into the fuel screw. So we will use that to loosen up our Flint spring screw. Using these little integrated screwdrivers is not the most convenient thing, or at least the most ergonomic. It may be convenient because you just have to unscrew it out of the bottom of the lighter, but it's not the most ergonomic, sort of hard to manipulate, especially when you have carpal tunnel ridden hands like I do. There is the screw. Pull that out of there. Give it a light wash here in our common household disinfectant wipe. And now we will test that out with a drill bit just to see. And doesn't go very far at all before it meets resistance. Let's see what happens if we shake. Again, we're getting some of that greenish flint dust coming out the back end. And that seems way too difficult, way too solid and hard to do the whole thing by hand. Although there's a good bit of that dropping out of there right now. You guys know that I don't have the patience or the hand strength to stand here and twist that bit all day, so we will employ the power drill. See, we're still well short of where we need to be. So even with the power drill, this may be a bit of a long one. And there it broke through. See all that nasty flint debris on the bit, on my finger, and all over the cloth here that we have dropped onto our work surface. Take some canned air. And the firewheel is turning freely there. Clean up our flint dust mess here. Install a new flint into the tube. There is no stopper on that flint spring or tip, whatever you would call it. So it should be able to go in there either way. Get our screw tightened on down. And then put our integrated screwdriver on it. Getting a little bit of a spark. Tighten it on down. And then we'll make sure that we don't have it too tight. That seems about tight enough to me. We're going to take one of our household disinfectant cloths and wipe off the debris from the file wheel. Now, this has two screws, but this back screw just opens up into a storage area. So, I believe you could fuel it through here, but it's a very small hole. So we're going to fuel it right here through the base of the lighter. Watch that absorb. And that looks like that is going to be about all that it will absorb. We'll go ahead and shake that out off camera here, hoping that we don't end up with vapor lock. Get our fill screw back in place, and there's obviously some fluid that leaked through the top of the lighter, through the wick hole, and I was actually able to get that screwed back down without the aid of a screwdriver. Let's wipe off this excess fuel. It's an interesting shape of a lighter, rather large for an aluminum block Petrol lighter. And probably pretty wet right at the moment. We'll just blow this top area out. and give it another shot. Looks like maybe we can pull that up just a little bit. It might give us a little bit better chance of ignition. It's kind of cool how it's got this little drilled out windscreen here, or vents in the windscreen. Blow on it a little bit, see if that will help our vapor lock. And maybe we just need to tighten the screw down a little bit. And it looked like it wanted to catch right there, which kind of blew it out the top like your typical vapor lock will do. Getting spark there on the wick consistently. And occasionally then it's blowing it out. And then slightly off screen it finally catches. So as you can see, there's a lot of work that goes into lining out these lighters and getting them to working correctly, dependably. And that would be eased a little bit if we would fuel them up in advance rather than right before we are trying to ignite them. But when you're performing maintenance on them, sometimes you're not afforded that luxury. So we may have to change the wick, and we may find that once the vapor lock calms down and is not so volatile, that the lighter might light up a lot more easily than it is showing right now. But either way, tube is clear, lighter is sparking, and sooner or later we will get it to light reliably. Until next time.